What's up, Facebook fam? Just wanted to give you a quick shop update, an update on some of the things going on here with the shop. I wanted to talk a little bit about plans moving forward based on a lot of the great recommendations and suggestions that you guys have been giving me on my videos. I appreciate that so much. And then I wanted to show you a few cool finds from the office or from the shop here as I've been cleaning it up. I've come across several what I think are really cool items, including one that dates back to 1896. So you'll definitely want to check that out. But first, we'll jump in the shop here and I'll just give you a quick update on what's going on, and we'll go from there. And my dogs are enjoying this nice sunny day. But hopefully the first thing you'll notice is I cleaned up outside from around the door and stuff here. That was weeds. You couldn't even hardly see the door and the window there before. So I got that cleaned up. What I haven't cleaned up yet is all this mess out here. I got to get a roll-off dumpster in here. I was going to do it this past weekend, and we had rain in the forecast, and we got rain in the forecast this coming weekend. So it's going to be a couple weeks at this point, or a week and a half, before I can get that done. But yeah, I've made a lot of progress in this side of the shop, as you hopefully can see. I've got some wood storage for now going on right over here. I got my workstation here in the middle. I moved my two lights, which are all I have at the moment, pulled them off the back wall and brought them over here in the middle, put my workstation there, brought over my toolbox from the house with just all my hand tools, wrenches and stuff. Cleaned up this absolute disaster of an office here, if you saw that before, but kept one of the file cabinets, tossed the rest, but got that all cleaned up in here. Cleaned up the workbench on the back. Of course, I got a bunch of my own stuff on it now, but kind of got it back usable. I'm in the process of cleaning up this storage bin here where I can keep screws and nails and bolts and nuts and all that kind of stuff in there. Brought one of the metal shelves over from the other half of the shop just to store some paint and different things on. Um, got my little compressor over here, a storage cabinet there that I put my hand tools in, my power tools, the drills, that kind of stuff. Um, but that's got some plywood that I found on site here stored over there behind the door. That's kind of where I'm at. I have cleaned up some in this other side, but it still looks like a disaster because all the trash is just kind of piled up in the middle at the moment. Again, got to get a roll off in here, get my father-in-law's little tractor with the front end loader, and we'll start scooping this stuff up and getting it cleaned out. But if you saw it before, you know it's come a long way already. Not sure what to do with all this little storage bins that they had PVC. Well, there's still PVC stuff in, but I got to do something with all that. Found some cool boards along the way that I'll probably use on a project. Well, I will definitely use on a project at some point. So that's kind of where I'm at with progress so far. Obviously, I'd like to have a whole lot more done, but like a lot of you guys, I'm working with limited time because I do have a day job, and I'm working on a limited budget here. I don't have a pile of money or an account just set up to be able to go in and make big changes to this. It's going to take time. Right now, I'm mainly just using what little funds I'm generating from the woodworking side of things and turning it around and reinvesting it uh, into the property, and I'll continue to do that. Obviously, I'll put some of my own money in here and there where I can, but it's going to be a long process for sure. But hey, some of the things you guys have suggested, I've definitely taken to heart, and I wanted to touch on those real quick. Starting with the office, a lot of you guys recommended, hey, keep the office. You're going to want an office space, so I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to put me a shop fridge in there, maybe a table, a place to sit down, and just be able to take a break, do paperwork, whatever I need to do in there. And I'm not, it's relatively small space in the grand scheme of things. So I am going to leave that as an office. Um, you guys suggested putting my wood storage out back in the overhang area, which is right out this back door. I think I'm going to do that. Either that or I might go in this other side here. But what I'm definitely going to do on the other side, again, from your suggestions, is put my finishing area over there. So I'll do my painting and staining, all that kind of stuff in that other side of the shop over there, away from where I'll be creating all the sawdust on this side. Great suggestion, and one that I'm definitely going to take up. As far as where I'm going to store wood, I haven't decided, but either way, it'll be right here close to this back area, which is why, again, based on what you guys have suggested, I'm going to build a big miter station along this wall. So it'll be kind of the first station when you bring in your raw materials. So I have a long miter workstation there, cabinets underneath. I'll probably do like a French cleat system on the wall where I can hang tools and that kind of stuff, anything that I would need while I'm at the miter station. And then I'm going to change this up. I should have never, this was my biggest mistake so far, was building this miter station slash finish table, I guess you kind of call it, into one. The miter saw, it's a great miter station, but the miter saw is always in the way when I'm trying to do the actual assembly type work. And I know a lot of guys have it fixed to where that flips over and creates a flat surface and your saw hangs underneath. And that's great, but I'm just going to have the dedicated miter station over here and turn this into a full-fledged assembly table. I'll redo it, have a flat top, maybe have a top with a bunch of dog holes in it, or either that or T-track, where I can use different clamping setups to hold my projects in place. Put some drawers and that kind of stuff in there where I have easy access to all the, brad nailer and brads and screws and anything that I would need while doing the assembly work. And sadly, that covers most of my big tools at the moment, but I will be making a trip to Kentucky soon. My dad passed away last year, almost a year ago, and he had a good bit of tools in his garage, and I'm going to go get some of those. I know I'll be bringing back a lathe, a bandsaw, and a joiner. So I'll need some areas along these walls or out here on the floor for those. I think one thing I'm going to do is get rid of one of these doors, this door right here, just to create more wall space. I mean, I guess I could have it without losing the door, but I just don't need that door. It's not in the best shape as it is. And I'll still have that big door there, as well as a set of double doors right here that are 14 feet. In fact, I don't know what I'm going to do with those just yet, if I need to keep those or wall that in and just have a regular door and just have the one big shop door, because those big doors ain't cheap, and these two are definitely in disrepair. That one's actually in pretty good shape. It doesn't look pretty, but it rolls up and down fine, does the job. And so, yeah, I got to decide on that. Got to get some lighting in here, obviously, as well. I'm working off of these 2 LED lights right now over my workstation, so I got to get a lot more lighting in here. If you guys got suggestions, recommendations for that, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. But yeah, that's kind of plans moving forward. Oh, one last thing. A lot of you have commented on the old chimney here and gave me some great feedback on that. And I think what I'm going to do is get up on the roof here. Of course, safely, I'm going to use either some plywood, or I'll use some long 2x8s, 2x10s, something to be able to walk up there without concern about hitting a soft spot and falling. And I'm going to chip away at the chimney from the top, get it down to the roof line, and then I can come in here and finish up in here. I probably will follow your all suggestions on putting something on the floor, like some of you have mentioned plywood, some of this old plywood. I got a lot of tires here. I could put some tires down here below just to catch anything if it does fall from up here. But yeah, I'm gonna start up top and get rid of the bulk of it, and then I'll have a much smaller piece to work with here hanging down, and I can get that thing out of the way and get the roof repaired in that spot, and got a lot more roof repair and roofing to go. Unfortunately, that's about a $4,000 or $5,000 task, getting that roof fixed, and that's me doing it myself, which I'm completely comfortable with, but got to come up with those resources. Now, as I hinted to in the intro, I found a few pretty cool things along the way of cleaning this mess up, and I wanted to share a few of those with you. Some of them, if you watch some of our shorts, I've already shared it, but let me flip the screen around here and we'll take a look. All right, one of the first things I found was this Motorola AM/FM record player, and it was actually shoved up in the corner on the other side of the shop there. it had a bunch of stuff sitting on it, and I just thought it was a wood box, storage box or something. But it's actually a pretty cool old record player radio, and I'm gonna see about cleaning it up, restoring it. It's got one leg. Well, all the legs are kind of rotten on the bottom where they gotten wet over there. So I'm gonna see about replacing legs on it. See if I can get it to actually work. If not, though, I'll just put a Bluetooth speaker inside of it, modernize it, and we'll still use it for a shop radio because it's just a really, really cool piece. And then I also found all these hand saws, and those were all stuck up in a little cubby hole up there over the office, wrapped in newspaper. But unfortunately, they've gotten wet as well over the years, and so they're not in the best shape. I got y'all's feedback. It doesn't sound like they're probably worth much monetarily, but they're really cool wall art. That's what they're going to be. I'll get them hung up once I kind of get the shop the way I want it. But those are going to stick around. But then the coolest find of all was in one of the file cabinets in the office, and I couldn't get over this. It's I don't know if you call it a check stub or just a receipt, but look at the date on that. December 12th, 1896, $75 in cotton for a buggy. Just unreal. And honestly, it was in such good shape, I wasn't even sure it was real, but there's lots of other paperwork in here too, right around that same time frame. Here's a check from January 6th of 1904 for 215 bucks. And there's some letters in there and other things, a last will and testament, just a crazy find. But I definitely, that one from 1896, I'm going to see about framing and hanging in the shop here somewhere. Well, guys, that's going to wrap this one up. Again, man, I cannot thank you enough for all the support you've shown me in this first, well, less than a month on YouTube. I can't believe I'm sitting at over 3,000 subscribers. All the great feedback from you guys, 99.9% positive feedback, which, hey, you can't ask for much better than that when it comes to YouTube. There's always going to be a couple haters in the mix, and, well, whatever. It is what it is. Some people are going to be miserable no matter what. And so I'm not going to worry about those. We're just going to keep pressing forward. And I hope you guys will follow along on that journey. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that little notification bell. Hey, give this video a thumbs up. All that helps support the channel, helps get it out there for more eyes to see. And guys, until the next one, hey, I appreciate you and look forward to seeing you on the next one.